Hello, everyone. So, to take a break from the lockdown business, it's a depressing subject, right? So let's talk about something more fun. Sexual assault allegations. Whoopee! Look, for those of you that have followed me for a while, I talked about how I wanted to write a book called From Covington to Kavanaugh. Just how the Democrats, I've never been a Democrat, but I could respect the idea that we need at least two working parties, which basically we have zero. But I understand the idea of the traditional Democratic Party for the working people and things like that. And I have plenty of friends that are Democrats, and I could have voted for a Democrat, particularly locally where things are different than at the national level. But I cannot bring myself to vote anyone who is Democrat ever again, at least until there's significant changes at the top of the party. Because as bad as politics is, the fact that the Democrats were so flippantly endorsing identity politics that they were willing to, in the Covington situation, defend adult black racists that were attacking children, and in the Kavanaugh situation, overturn the concept of innocent until proven guilty, and instead go with this believe all women garbage that we knew was nonsense from the get-go, that I can never vote for Democrat again. And you can go back and you can check my videos out then. Again, this isn't mind-breaking stuff, but I am good. I'll ask you to go back and check my videos out 4 or 5 months from now about what I was saying at the beginning of the virus. Because, by the way, another person who was great at the beginning of the virus is my friend Sarah Courier, who I've done videos with. Both me and her, right out of the gate, our first thought was, dude, they're abusing our rights. They're blowing this out of proportion. We were both right. So remember who was on it. That's all I'm saying. Sometimes people, when the chips are down and it's an unpopular opinion to criticize someone, whether it be Trump or whatever, it's easy to just say, oh, I'm just going to go with the flow. Well, I didn't do that, and I lost a ton of subscribers, and I feel that I will be vindicated that it was wrong to take our rights away. It was wrong to collapse the economy. Regardless, we're on the metoo stuff. So, yeah, if you go back and you check out my videos about Kavanaugh, I mean, I was saying that it was so transparent that this was just political. Not that that's mind-breaking, but that inevitably this would be used by the other side. And that's the problem with identity politics in general. This Me Too stuff's the most toxic of it. But in general, the problem with identity politics, and you hear Jordan Peterson talk about this a lot, if you start saying that your identity, that all that matters about you is your race or your gender or your sexual preference or etc., all of that stuff, once you start down that path, it seems well and good if you're these leftists, because you're like, oh, we play this game and we just yell racism, we yell misogyny, we yell rape, and everyone believes everything we say. The problem is the other side will start playing that game as well. And once the other side plays that game, well, then we're lost. And I said the problem with what's going on, yes, it's being used disgustingly, but inevitably it's going to happen to the other side. You're going to hear people make sexual assault allegations on Democrats. And what will the Democrats say? Now, we saw from Keith Ellison, Bob Menendez, Al Franken, a bunch of them, they were like, oh, it's different when our people do it. But now we have the best example with Joe Biden. And you could see, person by person, for example, Stacey Abrams, she said she believed Christine Blasey Ford. She now says she believes Joe Biden. She doesn't believe Ms. Reed. Why? What's the difference? Ms. Reed has more evidence than Blasey Ford ever did, and you see this over and over. The New York Times, you see it at the Washington Post, you see it with specific reporters, you see it with Hillary Clinton, you see it with Nancy Pelosi. You could go back and make a montage of them saying, oh, Kavanaugh's guilty, we trust Blasey Ford, but then with Biden going, I believe Biden, I don't believe Ms. Reed. And if anything, there's more evidence. We didn't even have evidence that Christine Blasey Ford ever met Brett Kavanaugh. With Reed, we know that Biden worked for her. We know that she made contemporaneous allegations. We know that her mom called C-SPAN in 93 saying that something happened to her daughter. So we have all of that information, yet it's 180. Oh, no. Now, what's the point of me saying this? Well, a couple of things. One, I think it would be interesting. I don't have the technical wherewithal and I'm really busy, but if you wanted to get a video that would go viral, just every single Democrat and media person you could find, their words, what they said about Kavanaugh versus what they're saying about Biden. It's disgusting. And it proves that the whole Me Too thing was a joke, as we knew it was all along. Look, here's the truth. Does sexual assault happen to women? Are there disgusting pigs that deserve the Weinsteins of the world, you know, all these people, sure. And I'm all for that. And if you're a woman who's been a victim of assault, I'm with you 100%. But you have to understand that within the confines of our legal system, we still have to give the accused the right of innocent until proven guilty. They have a right to defend themselves. And the fact that the Me Too movement, most of them were saying, no. Guilty until innocent, until you prove innocent. You have to, even if you're falsely accused, you have to take in the account the feelings of your accuser, etc. It was all nonsense, as we knew it would be. And so now we see all of a sudden women don't matter. Just like, what was Blasey Ford's friend's name? Remember the woman that was her witness that said, no, actually that never happened? And then Blasey Ford's crew attacked her. I forget her name. Swetnick? Was it Julia Swetnick? And they attacked her and threatened to go public with her substance abuse problems. So we could see that it's a total joke, that they'll weaponize anything. And it's particularly heinous because it's not just that they're willing to go after Republicans. They're also willing to screw over actual victims of sexual assault. You see, much like most of the things that these establishment Democrats do, they claim, oh, here's this poor group, whether it be blacks or illegal immigrants or women or gays or Muslims. Oh, they're so poor. We'll take care of these poor babies. They're incapable. The world's just out to get them. But the truth is, not only is that patronizing to everyone else, it's also patronizing to those groups. And when the chips are down, they'll throw any one of those groups under the bus as fast as they can. I talk about identity politics and cultural Marxism on my channel a lot. What's the thing I say? There's this oppression Olympics, right? They want to divide us into categories. I'm not Rob nor the person. I'm white. I'm male. I'm straight. I'm married. Christian. Fat. That puts me on the oppressed side. That's all I am, a collection of these categories. But what's the most important thing? You can check every box of the oppressed group. You could be black, you could be a lesbian, you could be disabled, you could be Muslim, all these groups that are supposedly oppressed. But you only get those oppression points, and I say this all the time, if you agree with their narrative. If you're black and you disagree, they'll attack you more than anyone. If you're gay and you disagree, they'll attack you more than anyone. Well, the same is true here. If you're in those oppressed groups, you could scream rape anytime you want, and we have to believe, unless you target them, then they don't care about you. They don't hashtag believe all women. That's worse for actual victims of sexual assault than doing nothing, which doing nothing's terrible. Don't get me wrong. But at least you're not trivializing and weaponizing the pain that people went through. That's what they did to Christine Blasey Ford, by the way. Who I don't know if she's confused, if she's a liar, I don't know. What I do know is this: she expressed her wishes to remain anonymous, and Dianne Feinstein sat in her allegation. Instead of sending it to the FBI where it could have been investigated anonymously, she waited to the 0 hour to get maximum publicity, which put Christine Blasey Ford into the limelight against her wishes. They didn't care about her. She was just a stepping stone to get political power. And that's obvious now, you see, with this Reed lady. Same thing. Shut up. You want, and by the way, this Reed lady still says she's going to vote for Biden. Now, does this mean that I think Biden's guilty? I don't know. He should be afforded innocent until proven guilty like everyone else. I'm going to lose you for a second up here, but I'll be right back. Is that, oh no, guilty until proven innocent, hashtag believe all women. That's what the story is. I'm not saying that. There's plenty of reasons not to vote for Joe Biden, but I'm not saying he's guilty. I'm saying the same thing I said with Kavanaugh, the same thing I said with Al Franken, the same thing I said with Roy Moore, all of them. With these heinous allegations, you need to have proof before you can judge people based on them. By the way, you saw all kinds of Republicans, Ben Shapiro, saying, oh, Roy Moore has to step down. Oh, Republicans like Trump, they should step down. Or, I don't know if he said that about Trump, but other people he said they should step down. Now all of a sudden, Republican Ben Shapiro, when it's Joe Biden, I don't hear him calling for Joe Biden to step down, as he shouldn't, but just to show you where they're really at. So it's actually worse for victims of sexual assault. But here's the other thing that you need to keep in mind. Those same people were the same people that lied to you about Russia. The establishment Democratic Party. You can see blatantly. You literally, if anybody, if you're just, take yourself out of politics, if you know nothing, and if you hear Stacey Abrams saying, oh man, this Blasey Ford lady, I believe her, Kavanaugh's a rapist, but then you hear her say, oh, I don't believe this Reid lady, Joe Biden's telling the truth. You know that they're full of it. That's the entire party. That's the entire media class. And they lied to you about the Russia stuff. And they lied to you about the FBI, saying they weren't corrupt. And you know what else they're lying to you about? This whole shutdown business. So 4 people tell me, oh, well, the doctors say this and that about COVID and, blah, 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 blah. You can't trust these people for anything. Anything. And this situation with Me Too movement is just further proof. Is there any doubt? Just because Trump went along with the lockdown doesn't mean that they were right. He fell for it. Just like people fell for the Kavanaugh crap. Just like people fell for the Russia crap. Just like people fell for the Ukraine crap. It's all garbage. All of it. Now, someone might say, oh, so you don't think COVID's out there killing people? Of course I do. I understand that it's a disease. I'm not saying it doesn't exist. But what I am saying is this. I don't believe anything the media says or our politics or our intel agencies ever again without proof. Ever. Period. Now, I'm good, blank slate. I don't need to track my blood pressure. If you're a regular viewer, you would see I'm this mad all the time. Why would you believe anything they say without proof? Why? At all. So why are we buying it in this lockdown? So yeah, the Me Too movement's a joke. When the chips, again, the way you judge people isn't when things are going, it's the exact same rationale you hear with, you hear the Democrats say, we need to get rid of hate speech. We need to do this and that. The entire point of the First Amendment, I know you are blank slate. The entire point of the First Amendment is to protect controversial speech. Oh, DJ. Yeah, I need to get in touch with you, DJ. I just talked to Mom about you. I hope everything's going good. Yeah, thoughts out to him. He had a surgery, so hopefully DJ's doing good today. But it's to protect unpopular speech. It's the same in life, right? It's easy to look cool and act like you're doing the right thing when things are going your way. But when the chips are down, he could tell you, I don't know how much he wants me to say, but it's just a surgery that was scheduled for a while now. It got delayed for the COVID. But it's when things are difficult. That's what makes a person. That's what allows you to see what someone's truly made of. And if you're all of a sudden, well, I'm scared of the virus, so now I think the Constitution's just a piece of paper. Well, I believe all women, but not when it's the person that I like that is running for president, so I'm not going to believe this woman. Well, I think that, it's always inappropriate to talk to foreign agents to try to get dirt on your people. Well, but when my side did it, it's okay. Hey, I think deficit spending's a really bad thing. Unless it's my guy doing it, then it's okay. Like, I'm sick and tired of it. That's how you judge people, and that's how you know they're disingenuous. If you were the type of person that said, #MeToo, believe all women, but as soon as it's someone you like that's accused and you're like, well, wait a minute, I don't believe that. I don't care what side you're on. If you're Republican or Democrat, though, let's be honest, if you believe all women, you're probably Democrat. Then you're a liar. You're a phony. Or maybe you're not, maybe that's a little too harsh. That's what most of them are, but maybe you just need to look at yourself in the mirror and say, why do I have a double standard here? What's that about? If you have been spending so much time saying, I'm for the Constitution, I'm for small government, I'm against socialism, I'm against wealth redistribution, but all of a sudden when a virus came along and now you're for all that stuff because your guy's doing it, you might want to rethink your position. You might want to look at yourself in the mirror and say, geez, why the double standard? So I'll try to do more as the week goes on here. I'll be getting off work today, so I just had a little ride here for work. So later today, maybe I'll do something later in the week. I need to start putting out non-live videos, so I might try to do that. And I'm also going to try to put together a compilation of takes that I had at the beginning of this virus that I feel I've been proven correct with. This video probably will get removed if I ever get enough views, because YouTube's taken it upon themselves to say anyone who has any take different than the CDC or the government or the World Health Organization on COVID must be removed from the internet, like those two doctors in California. So we'll see what's going on. But all right, everyone, thanks for sticking with me. I really appreciate it. Yeah, if you take a lesson away from this, don't believe anything, particularly the establishment Democrats say. They're liars. They don't care about women. They don't care about poor people. They don't care about black people. They don't care about gay people. When it comes down to it, they'll throw any one of them under the bus if it means getting power. So, yeah, YouTube deleted those two California doctors video that talked about the death rate in California. So, all right, thanks, everyone. We'll talk to you all soon. Have a good one.